Hey beautiful soul, welcome to another soul chat. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that has been coming up for me in many different ways. So this is about what do we do when things feel really hard? What do we do when we're on our journey, our transformation journey, our spiritual journey, our journey to motherhood, and then things just get really, really hard and we just feel like we're hitting a wall, we feel like we don't know what to do in this moment, you want to give up. And this question came to me in many different ways in the last week. And I posted a video on TikTok, so you can go check out my TikTok to kind of listen to a very specific message I had about this. But here I wanted to talk about a little bit about the spiritual side of things, like what actually is happening when we're going through these moments, right? We go through moments where it's really, really great. We feel like we're on top of the world, and then all of a sudden we go through moments where it's really, really hard. And the one thing that I want to mention before I kind of get into the spiritual part of it is like growth, whether it's spiritual growth, transformational growth in terms of physical, or, you know, if you're trying to change your mindset, whatever type of growth and transformation you're trying to do, that is not like a linear growth, right? It's a spiral. So we're going through layers and layers and releasing layers as we're healing, as we're growing. And as we're going through that process, we are growing. Even though at times it feels like we hit a low, we actually haven't hit a low. We're actually breaking through to the next level. So here's what's going on a spiritual level. So our soul came to this life with lessons it wanted to learn. And these lessons that it wanted to learn was signed in a contract, if you will. In that contract, there are the lessons it wanted to learn, the people it's going to meet, the people that are going to trigger these lessons so that you can actually experience this lesson in different ways. The situations, the places, the jobs, all of it. All of it is in your soul contract. And you can say that there's a record of this kept. And as you take lifetime from lifetime, these lessons are carried with you. Very often, if it is a very deep a very deep wound, it is a lesson that you have learned over lifetimes. So for example, if you have a certain fear of abandonment, let's just say, or you continuously feel very triggered or very, very hurt from betrayal, you might have had these lessons in previous lifetimes. So what does this mean for you, right? This means that you are here to learn these lessons. So every time you go through something very difficult, very challenging, very hard, you feel like you're hitting a wall, there's a lesson behind that. So it's important to bring realization to that, and it's important to bring awareness to what that lesson is, right? So I want you to try this. I want you to try to pause the next time you feel like things are really heavy for you. Pause, take a few deep breaths, bring love to yourself, bring compassion to yourself, bring grace to yourself for the fact that you've been going through something. And when it feels comfortable for you, I want you to sit down, whether it's with a pen and paper or just sit down in meditation, and start to really bring to your awareness of what is coming up. What are the lessons that your soul is bringing to light? What are the lessons that you are struggling with right now? And just write them down. Bring awareness to that moment and to those lessons, and then understand that it's a process to go through them. It's not about, okay, I brought awareness to lesson, I'm going to get through this, and it's done. It's a process. There's layers to this process. And there's layers to you learning this lesson, and it's designed quite eloquently by God. And the reason why it's designed eloquently by God is because God understands your soul and how your soul wants to experience this, right? And the whole idea of experiencing this is to bring that remembrance of that light back into you. So the whole idea when you're going through something hard is for you to remember that you're connected to that light. you're actually being drawn away from the light, and that light is God, universe, the higher power, whatever you call it. In that moment of darkness, to remember that you're connected to that light, because that's what your soul wants to experience. If you're constantly connected to the light, you can't remember that you're part of the light, right? We have to be taken into the dark to remember we're also part of the light. And if we're in the dark all of the time, we can't know that we're in the dark. We need to have the remembrance of the light and have experiences of the light. That's why we go back and forth between good and bad, light and dark, because that is the experience of our soul. That's the experience of our life. And so the next time you're going through something where it feels like you're hitting a wall, just pause, take a deep breath, and really just bring awareness to what's coming up for you so that you can work through it. And remember that healing is a whole process. Like I said, there's layers to our healing that we're going through. And many times it takes lifetimes for us to go through this. So have grace and compassion for yourself. Love on yourself. Think about when you were going through that moment, how would God react to this? How would God react to this? And you'll get the answer from your soul. And that's the guidance you want to follow as you're moving forward. I hope that this helps. I'll be back. Peace, love, and light. Namaste.